Chapter 1. The Mediterranean Diet. The Mediterranean diet is an eating habit that stems from the feeding patterns and habits of countries like Greece, Italy, and Spain during the 1960s. The key component of the Mediterranean diet ranges from low consumption of non-fish products to high intake of olive oil, vegetables, fruits, legumes, and unrefined cereals, to moderate intake of wine, to moderate intake of dairy products such as yogurt and cheese. Olive oil factors in as a core ingredient in this type due to its scientifically proven health benefits, especially its ability to reduce the risk of chronic conditions, early death, and all-cause mortality. As a result, the Mediterranean diet is considered healthy, although a fresh observation in 2019 posited that the evidence of such health benefits was uncertain and of poor quality. Nonetheless, the Mediterranean diet is recommended, American Heart Association and American Diabetes Association, as a healthy form of eating that could help lower symptoms and risks associated with type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. This diet could also help to manage weight loss in people suffering from obesity. It is one of 3 types of diets, including a vegetarian diet and the DASH diet, considered healthy and recommended by the United States Dietary Guidelines between 2015 and 2020. In 2017, studies discovered evidence that proved that switching to a Mediterranean diet could help with other medical conditions such as neurodegenerative diseases, cardiovascular diseases, and the overall occurrence of cancer. In 2018, another encouraging review proved that a Mediterranean diet could improve the general health status of practitioners, helping to reduce the cost of national health care, susceptibility to non-communicable diseases, general cost of living, among other things. In 2016, an inquiry into the Mediterranean diet revealed that it had similar weight loss properties to other types of diets. The scientific effects of the Mediterranean diet. 1. Cardiovascular problems. The Mediterranean diet features in a list of dietary patterns that could lower the risk of developing cardiovascular problems. A review by Cochrane in 2013 showed limited but plausible evidence that a Mediterranean diet could favorably influence risk factors of cardiovascular diseases. In the same year, a different meta-analysis made a comparison of mainstream diet types, including high-protein diets, low-carb diets, the Mediterranean diet, vegetarian, vegan, and low glycemic index. The result of the study showed that all the aforementioned diet types except vegetarian and vegan diets proved effective in bettering the risk markers of diabetes and cardiovascular problems. For vegan and vegetarian diets, there was little to no evidence to prove their effect on lipid levels and glycemic controls that didn't relate to weight loss. Albeit, studies from the early periods of 2016 erred on the side of caution, so much so that concerns sprang up regarding the quality of early systematic reviews that assessed the effect of a Mediterranean diet on risk factors pertaining to cardiovascular diseases. As a result, the need for more standardized studies is necessary. The evidence that Mediterranean diets may help prevent vascular diseases is, hence, highly variable and limited in scope. Further research in 2016 and 2017 arrived at a similar conclusion, that the diet may just work to reduce the risk of hypertension and some certain cardiovascular problems. The Mediterranean diet has a low-fat, saturated content with a disproportionately higher level of dietary fiber and monounsaturated fat. A possible contributing factor to the healthiness of the Mediterranean diet is olive oil, which contains oleic acid and monounsaturated fats believed to be great for overall well-being. These health benefits of olive oil have been approved by the European Food Safety Authority Panel on Dietetic Products, Nutrition, and Allergies due to its characteristic property of protecting its polyphenols from oxidation of blood lipids. Furthermore, olive oil helps to regulate normal levels of LDL cholesterol in the blood by swapping out the saturated fats content of the diet with oleic acid. In 2014, a meta-analysis posited that an increased intake of olive oil can be linked to a reduction in the likelihood of stroke, cardiovascular events, and all-cause mortality. On the other hand, monounsaturated fatty acids obtained from both plant and animal sources presented little to no significant influence in the same tests. 2. Gluten. Since the Mediterranean diet typically includes foods high in gluten, such as bread and pasta, an increase in the adoption of the diet could positively contribute to the increasing rate of gluten-related problems. 3. Cognitive prowess. A systematic study on the Mediterranean diet in 2016 linked the eating pattern to improved cognitive performance, although there was little evidence to suggest the affiliation was anything beyond casual or complementary. However, a much earlier study on the diet in 2013 revealed that adopting the Mediterranean diet helps to reduce cognitive decline and slow the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. In the same year, a different study reached the same conclusion and found further evidence that the diet helped to foster the progression of mild cognitive impairment to worse conditions like Alzheimer's. The second study also added that more research was needed on the subject for further proof of the said relationship. 4. Diabetes. Two meta-analyses performed in 2014 discovered that the Mediterranean diet is linked to a decline in the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. In a later review on the subject 3 years later, the results turned out similar. To cap it all, 5 years after the first studies, a review by the American Diabetes Association in 2019 declared that the Mediterranean diet is a healthy choice that could shrink the likelihood of diabetes. 5. Aging. There is a little body of evidence that affiliates longer telomeres to a strict adoption of the Mediterranean diet. 6. Cancer. In 2008, a meta-analysis on the Mediterranean diet revealed that a strict adherence to the eating pattern resulted in a corresponding decline in the risk of death by cancer by up to 6%. In a different study 6 years later, experts found similar results. However, in a 2017 review, the diet was believed to reduce the rate of development of cancer, although there was little to no evidence to back up this claim. 7. Major depressive disorders. More inquiries into the diet showed that sticking to the Mediterranean diet may help reduce the risk of depression, although these claims stem from observational studies rather than cause and effect. History of the Mediterranean diet. The method of food consumption unique to the countries of the Mediterranean sphere can be traced back many millennia into history, when descriptions and recipes found in ancient Roman and Greek literature would not stick out as odd in the Mediterranean diet cookbooks of recent times. However, it's an interesting discovery that some of the first descriptions of Mediterranean diets as eaten by the natives of the mid-20th century weren't in cookbooks. Instead, they were contained in a body of research published in 1953, thanks to funding from the Rockefeller Foundation. The author of this study was Leland Albach, who studied the island of Crete in its undeveloped state. Albach couldn't help but notice the extensive use of vegetables, fruits, olive oil, fish, and whole-grain foods in the diet of the natives, as well as the geography and other features of the area. The version of the Mediterranean diet eaten by Cretans soon became the epicenter of many medical studies on the subject of the Mediterranean diet, following the 1980 publication of the 7-country study by Ansel Keys. The professor, Keys, 1904 to 2004, was an expert in physiology and taught at the University of Minnesota. He was a man with a varied background in biochemistry and biology before his switch to nutrition, which was almost accidental. In 1941, the Army would hire Keys to help them develop a portable method of rationing food to troops in combat. Keys developed a system known by the Army as K-rations. His next project during the war was an inquiry into starvation, which he carried out in a bid to discover the dietary needs of starving civilians across the war-torn continent, Europe. At the time, American soldiers were attempting to nurture the refugees of newly liberated countries back to health. However, try as they did, they failed because there wasn't any piece of reliable medical advice on the treatment of victims of starvation. For this study, Keys recruited the services of 36 male volunteers, all healthy and hearty, in 1944. The recruits were conscientious objectors, with the majority of them coming from the historic peace churches. Keys only allowed the recruits about half of the normal caloric requirement for an adult male. Not only that, he also pushed them to exercise on a treadmill regularly. At the end of the exercise, on average, the subjects lost 25% of their initial body weight. 3 months following the conclusion of the experiment, Keys discovered that none of the recruits regained the physical capacity or weight they lost. This gave him closure on renutrition, from which he learned that the victims of starvation have to consume more than their average caloric intakes over several months. Also, the protein content of the diet must be improved, and vitamin supplements were a necessity. With this newfound knowledge, Keyes wrote a piece which relief agencies used at the end of the war. While studying about the impact of starvation on European war survivors, Keyes noted a counterintuitive pattern. The rate of heart attacks among the survivors dwindled as food supplies suffered declines. The professor pondered the role of dietary factors in the causal of heart problems. A study conducted by professors and business people in Minnesota during the 1950s revealed that the fat content in their diet, especially the saturated fats content in dairy and meat products, was a contributing factor to the condition. After this experiment, Keyes started to reimagine diet as a form of preventative medication. He first experienced Mediterranean diets while visiting Spain and Italy to carry out research for the WHO, World Health Organization. After studying the patterns of food consumption in these countries, he journaled his conclusions in his book, The 7 Countries Study. Keyes' literature was a systematic juxtaposition of disease history, diet, and risk factors for heart problems in men aged 40 to 59 across the rural areas of the Netherlands, Greece, Japan, Italy, Yugoslavia, the United States, and Finland between 1958 and 1970. Women were excluded from the study because the condition was a rarity among them at the time. Also, the fact that physical examinations were a little too invasive was a factor. Aside from asking the subjects of his research to record and track their food consumption, the researchers chemically analyzed each food the subjects consumed. At the end, they discovered that the subjects that resided on the island of Crete, the location of Leland Albach's study in 1953, showed the lowest susceptibility to heart attacks among the group of subjects. Subsequent studies on the Mediterranean diet followed afterwards, with the subjects varying from victims of heart attacks to female subjects. However, in contemporary research, a consistent theme revolves around the notion that subjects from the early 21st century were less healthy than subjects from the late 1950s. This disparity stems from the fact that traditional Mediterranean diets were readily abandoned for fast foods and the consumption of sweets and fatty meat products, including other staples of Northern European and American diets containing high trans fatty acids, spiked incredibly. Additionally, the evolution of certain agricultural practices in the Mediterranean resulted in higher fat content in the meat and poultry, which wasn't the case in the 1950s. Due to concern for the changing trends, in 1995, an association was created for the preservation and advancement of the Mediterranean diet in Spain. Later, the foundation funded the development of the Foundation for the Advancement of the Mediterranean Diet, with its headquarters in Barcelona. What was the Cretan diet like? The version of the Mediterranean diet particular to the Cretans, also used on the island during the 1960s, had a distinctive composition in several regards. The diet contained the following. 1. Fats. A higher level of total calories was gotten from fat, 40%, particularly from olive oil, which was a staple. The oil was preferred due to its low saturated and animal fats content. Butter was barely eaten at the time, too. 2. Carbohydrates. The Cretans were averagely dependent on carbohydrates to fulfill their daily caloric intake. So, their diet was low in carbs, which made up only 45% of their daily calories. A common source of carbohydrates for the people were vegetables, 2 to 3 cups daily, and fruits, 2 to 3 daily. Most of their foods even had low glycemic index, and vegetables were considered as a core part of the Cretan diet, rather than as side dishes or snacks. 3. Bread. The Cretan diet involves large portions of whole grain bread, with daily servings containing up to 8 slices. But unlike regular varieties, the bread is prepared with slowly fermented dough and has a much lower glycemic index. 4. Meat. Meat in the Cretan diet revolved around little consumption of fish, roughly 40 grams daily. This moderate inclination to sea-sourced meat is irrelevant, as the fish usually contain high levels of omega-3 fatty acids. On the flip side, the Cretans enjoyed a higher amount of meat than other versions of the Mediterranean diet of other areas. The most consumed meats include pork, chicken, and lamb. 5. Vitamins and minerals. The Cretan diet contained high levels of ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, an omega-3 fatty acid that is believed to reduce the likelihood of heart problems. Common sources of ALA in this diet include lamb, wild greens, especially Portulaca oleracea, purslane, seeds, legumes, and nuts, especially walnuts. Chapter 2. Health Benefits of the Mediterranean Diet. By steering clear of foods such as butter, sweets, and red meats, you can further improve your chances of immunity against specific health problems while generally preventing others. Below are some benefits of adopting the Mediterranean diet. 1. It helps with weight loss. Although the primary goal of the Mediterranean diet isn't to help with weight loss, it isn't an altogether negative effect of adopting this diet type. According to studies on the subject, people who adhere to the Mediterranean diet are more likely to lose and manage their weight for over a year. Additionally, this eating pattern could prove more effective in your weight loss journey, even better than low-fat diets that require you to track your fat consumption. Moreover, the Mediterranean diet may just be as effective as, if not better than, any other diet type that requires some form of regimen and is costly to follow. 2. Decrease the likelihood of cardiovascular problems. With high cholesterol levels building up in the arteries, you could easily fall victim to the most common form of cardiovascular disease, CAD, coronary artery disease. When this happens, the heart becomes unable to effectively provide the body with enough blood to function as normal. As a result, the heart beats irregularly or fails and stops. In Mediterranean regions, the population has a lesser case of heart diseases and affiliated deaths. The diet in this region soon became linked to reduction in the risks of cardiovascular problems like stroke and heart attacks, especially in men. This notion was further cemented by the publication of Key's 7 Countries study. The Mediterranean diet is believed to help protect the body against heart problems due to the high omega-3 fatty acids content of the eating pattern. Hence, although blood cholesterol levels may not necessarily be reduced, the low saturated fat content of the diet makes it a healthy choice. Saturated fat is the kind of fat that results in cholesterol buildup in the blood. 3. Reduction in allergies and asthma. In 2007, a body of researchers in Crete revealed that the island had a relatively lower rate of runny nose, allergic rhinitis, and wheezing. They tied this discovery to the traditional diet unique to the Cretans. Children who heavily consumed foods like tomatoes, apples, grapes, nuts, and oranges had lower susceptibility to nasal allergies and asthma. On the other hand, children that consumed margarine in high amounts were more prone to these health issues. 4. It serves as preventative health care. The majority of scientific analysis and studies done in the Mediterranean diet tends to revolve around its role in the prevention and reduction of risks of certain problems. 5. It may help to prevent Alzheimer's disease. In 2006, Annals of Neurology published a study on several subjects in a group of 2,000 participants. The subjects were about 76 years of age on average and were made to closely follow a version of the Mediterranean diet. The study discovered that these subjects proved more immune to the development of Alzheimer's than those who didn't follow the Mediterranean diet. Although, more studies are necessary to figure out whether or not the outcome of the project was influenced by more factors than a change in diet. 6. It helps to soothe metabolic syndrome. A clinical study carried out in Naples, Italy, posits that the Mediterranean diet reverses the symptoms or reduces the risk of developing metabolic syndrome. The condition is usually affiliated with an increment risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease, as well as resistance to insulin. Results presented by the Italian study were further corroborated by a different study performed in Massachusetts at Tufts University. The complementary study discovered that the symptoms of metabolic syndrome were greatly lowered, even in patients that didn't shed weight after switching diets. 7. It aids in reduction of cholesterol levels. Generally, cholesterol occurs in 2 forms. One form is foods consumed, and the other is made by the body. The cholesterol created by the body helps in breaking down fatty foods. Foods with high levels of cholesterol should be avoided or cut back on at the very least when adopting the Mediterranean diet. Typical foods in the Mediterranean diet have a decent amount of fat calories, but these fats are monounsaturated and gotten from olive oil or avocados. Monounsaturated fats are healthy fats that do not spike the level of cholesterol in the blood, unlike saturated fats, which can be found in foods such as cheese, butter, and fatty beef. The cholesterol content of most diets tends to be from animal sources, such as cheese, fatty meats, or egg yolks. Too much of this cholesterol in your food can lead to a buildup in your arteries. When this happens, the arteries stretch out and become narrowed, thus reducing or entirely blocking the amount of blood that passes through them. This situation makes you prone to cardiovascular problems and strokes. If you want to adopt the Mediterranean diet and its benefits, start small. You can swap in water for soda, use little amounts of olive oil instead of butter or fatty oils, take fresh fruits regularly instead of sweets and other desserts, and reduce your quantity of meat by adding beans to your diet. Going forward, these little changes will culminate into greater health benefits. 8. It could help people suffering from arthritis. Although evidence to this claim is limited, studies suggest that people with arthritis can experience lesser pains by switching to a Mediterranean diet. The bulk of foods consumed on a Mediterranean diet have anti-inflammatory qualities that can prove healthy to people with arthritis. The condition classifies as an inflammatory disease, so it's only sensible to draw a connection to the healing qualities of the diet. The Mediterranean diet is recommended by the Arthritis Foundation to add with the management of the condition. They cite the fact that the diet comprises nutritious foods with anti-inflammatory properties such as dark green veggies, olive oil, and berries. Additionally, the NIH, National Institute of Health, recommends the consumption of omega-3 fatty acids for people dealing with inflammatory diseases. Since the Mediterranean diet has lots of healthy fatty acids, omega-3 included, it makes sense why the diet is endorsed. A systematic review of the Mediterranean diet in 2018 in regard to osteoarthritis, which is a more degenerative kind of arthritis, arrived at the conclusion that the Mediterranean diet can help improve symptoms of arthritis, although more studies are needed on the subject in the long term. 9. It allows for freedom of dietary preference. Unlike other forms of dieting, the Mediterranean diet isn't restrictive of your dietary preferences. So whether you operate on a dairy-free, vegetarian, vegan, or gluten-free diet, among others, the Mediterranean diet can still work for you. Sure, the diet works best when you stick to the different food groups that it emphasizes, but you can tweak the food pyramid to be in line with your dietary preferences. There aren't many experts who would classify the Mediterranean diet as a one-dimensional eating pattern, because it comprises the right amounts of healthy vegetables, fruits, fats, proteins, carbs, and a moderate number of treats, including wine and sweets. 10. It could prevent the development of certain cancers. The Mediterranean diet is popular and praised for many qualities, but most especially for its ability to stall the growth of chronic diseases such as metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular diseases, and diabetes. But that's not all there is to it. The diet, being rich in anti-inflammatory properties and antioxidants, may well protect against the growth of some types of cancer. A review of several studies in 2017 posited that switching to a Mediterranean diet could be a preventative measure against back, head, prostate, liver, breast, and stomach cancers. The authors of the review pointed out that the protective effect of the Mediterranean diet has a higher intake of whole grains, vegetables, and fruits at its core. A different study performed in 2015 considered the different effects of a low-fat diet and the Mediterranean diet in preventing the development of breast cancer in women. As it turned out, the Mediterranean diet, particularly the one with extra virgin olive oil supplements, may just about put up enough protection to stall great cancer. 11. It promotes exercising. Of the many types of diets, both fad and feasible, the Mediterranean diet is one of the few eating patterns that explicitly prioritizes physical activities as part of its eating plan. The addition of exercise is welcomed because many people fail to get adequate amounts of exercise in their day-to-day lives. It makes sense because people who exercise regularly have a higher likelihood of making healthier food choices daily than those that don't. An interesting discovery is that the affiliation between the Mediterranean diet and exercise isn't a one-way street. A small body of research found that switching to a Mediterranean diet could help improve physical performance in comparison to a regular Western diet. 12. It's good for the environment. Any diet that is more reliant on grains and other foods sourced from plants than animal-based foods, like beef, has been revealed to have much healthier effects on the planet. As a result, not only is the Mediterranean diet healthy for people, but it also helps to prevent the decline of the planet. Based on an organizational consensus statement released by Old Ways, the Mediterranean diet is a recommended pattern of eating because it's both healthy and environmentally sustainable. The outfit posits that the Mediterranean diet helps to limit the use of fertilizers, thus conserving the use of land and water. 13. It improves gut health. Since the Mediterranean diet revolves around a high consumption of vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, the diet has higher levels of antioxidants, minerals, vitamins, and fiber. These properties are beneficial to overall gut health as they help to feed the good probiotic bacteria that reside in the digestive tract. In turn, this helps lower the risk of inflammation. According to a study on primates, the subjects that fed heavily on plant-based Mediterranean diets developed a substantially higher amount of good gut bacteria than those that were fed regular meat-based Western diets. It's also noteworthy that gut health shares close ties with mental health, which may prove how the Mediterranean diet could help improve mood and lower depression. Chapter 3. Tips to follow the Mediterranean diet. Since the Mediterranean diet is more of a lifestyle than a scientific approach to nutrition, there are a few things that you can only learn by practicing it. Below are proven steps that people have taken to make sure they get all the benefits that this diet has to offer. You can give them a try. 1. You have to move. Indigenous of the regions, Crete, Spain, Greece, Italy, whose way of feeding inspired what is now called the Mediterranean diet, were also observed to be quite active people. Everyone from the young child to the elderly takes frequent long walks. This form of exercise, in addition to their diet, accounts for why they live very long lives, especially in Italy and Spain. 2. The Mediterranean diet allows you to eat all kinds of meat, albeit occasionally and in moderate amounts, but you can take it a step further by only eating lean meat. Lean meats have as little fat as possible, most of which are the bad kind, and make for a healthier way to get your protein. Skinless chicken, for example, is considered to be a lean meat. Lean meats contain much less amounts of saturated fat. They are also packed with vitamin B12 and iron. 3. As you eat, move about and interact with your environment. Your cells function to make sure that you are able to perform these activities efficiently. To continue doing this, your cells produce waste called free radicals. These free radicals can be toxic to your cells and overall health if they are allowed to remain in your body. This is why you need antioxidants either to prevent or slow cell damage, so that your body has enough time and fuel to get rid of the free radicals. The Mediterranean diet allows you to eat fruits and vegetables. To make this even healthier, you should choose those fruits and veggies that are rich in antioxidants. This includes spinach, blueberries, raspberries, cruciferous vegetables, and so on. Also, make sure to add herbs like oregano, basil, and mint to many of the foods you cook. 4. Low-fat diets have been proven not to be as healthy as advertised. Bobero, 2015. They, in fact, often lead to weight gain, which is the last thing one would expect when they reduce or eliminate fat from their diet. The body needs fat to efficiently carry out various functions. Satiation, for instance, is aided by a moderate fat diet. Sex drive and how well your brain functions can also be aided by how much fat you consume. So, it is antithetical to good health to adopt a low or zero-fat diet. What you should be concerned about is your choice of fat. Not all types of fat are good for you. To get the best out of this diet, you should stick with extra virgin olive oil, EVOO. It's advisable to get the ones that haven't been on the shelf for a while, as olive oil is more flavorful and packed with polyphenol, a micronutrient that contains antioxidants, when freshly harvested. 5. Whether you're a vegetarian or vegan, the Mediterranean diet will fit right into your lifestyle. Various plant-based foods and oil can be enjoyed while on this diet. And even though milk is not traditionally a part of the Mediterranean way of feeding, plant-based milk like soy milk is definitely allowed. Also, feel free to snack on nuts, berries, your favorite fruits. 6. Fish is the protein of choice for the Mediterranean diet. You especially want to eat those that contain omega-3 fatty acids like salmon and mackerel, but you don't need to exclude fish with less fat like the tilapia. Lean fish is still a great source of protein and is healthy. 7. Indigenous of the regions around the Mediterranean are also known to drink red wine. You should also consider incorporating red wine into your diet, as it is rich in an antioxidant called resveratrol. However, this is not an excuse to drink an excess amount of red wine. Men are advised to have no more than a 5-ounce serving. Women should not exceed a 3-ounce serving. If this seems too little to you, then consider only drinking when sharing a meal with your loved ones. This can make the meal more filling and enjoyable. 8. Choose whole grains instead of processed grains. Usually, grains have their germ and bran removed before they are sold. These processed grains are low in vitamin B, iron, and phytonutrients. They are less filling since most of their fiber has been removed. Enjoy whole grains like oats, quinoa, buckwheat, millet, cornmeal, brown rice, and whole wheat pastas. Their fiber content is heart-healthy, manages diabetes, and reduces the risk of some cancers. Clearly, for the Mediterranean diet to be of any real help to you, certain lifestyle changes must be made. You cannot continue to spend time worrying, living in constant stress, smoking, consuming excess amounts of alcohol, or living a sedentary life. This goes to show that for overall well-being to be achieved, you shouldn't be focused solely on the foods you eat. Every choice you make can impact your health positively or negatively. Let's see how some common choices can affect your well-being. 1. Exercise. You may know that human beings did not evolve to be sedentary. Before our knowledge of science and technology grew to make work easier, we were hunters, farmers, and nomads. Even though modern life rarely demands our hunter-gatherer abilities, our biology still requires us to be active individuals. Everything from your spine to your skin benefits from exercising. But if you are opposed to the strain and sweating that often comes with working your body, then you leave yourself exposed to a number of health problems. 2. Smoking. For some, a cigarette or two is merely a pastime. They might not consider it an addiction, and merely see it as a fun activity that relieves stress. In fact, smoking tobacco takes the lead as the #1 cause of preventable deaths and diseases worldwide. CDC, 2020. As such, this might be one habit that you just have to drop if you are concerned about being healthy. 3. Alcohol. Although 3 to 5 ounces of red wine a day is considered a healthy amount, you should still be careful about how much alcohol goes into your body. Contrary to popular opinion, red wine isn't the only alcoholic drink that contains antioxidants. There is ellagic acid in whiskey, tequila contains a non-digestible natural sugar called agavins, it won't raise your blood sugar and can lower cholesterol levels, and rum is actually good for the heart. However, one can only enjoy these benefits when they are consumed in moderation. Otherwise, recklessly drinking alcohol can be akin to poisoning oneself. 4. Your job. You probably don't have to think too long to figure out the ways in which your job can affect your quality of life. Many companies today have gone beyond offering traditional employee health benefits and have created corporate cultures that can help relieve stress of their workers. If you cannot get an appropriate amount of sleep because of how demanding your job is, then your health might be in danger. If you also have to deal with an autocratic boss, then this might be compounding the problem. What you need is a work culture that emphasizes camaraderie and open communication. You need a job that allows you to spend time with your loved ones and hobbies. You should also be allowed to resume work and go home at reasonable times. 5. Friendships. When you make lifestyle changes like switching to the Mediterranean diet, it is important that you are surrounded by people who will support you on this journey and stop you from faltering. While you may not need to sever ties just yet, you do need to be careful around friends who have habits that you have chosen to abstain from. If you used to hang out with friends and drink copious amounts of alcohol, it might be counterintuitive to go to the same places with them and watch as they drink. Also, if any of your friends seem to only have unfounded yet negative things to say about what you believe is a positive choice, then it might be time to have a serious talk with that individual. 6. Routines. This doesn't only concern the clothes you wear for different days or what you do when you wake up in the morning. In fact, it can be hanging out with friends or traveling periodically. Routines can be self-limiting, or they can be the major reason you're productive. They can, indeed, be healthy or unhealthy. As such, you should make sure that the only routines you keep up are those that make you healthy and happy. An example of a good routine is exercising. Chapter 4. Shopping List for the Mediterranean Diet. When shopping for the Mediterranean diet, you want to go for some staples, as well as some of the stuff you like that fits into the food pyramid. Here are some of the basic buys to have at your disposal. 1. Extra virgin olive oil. Olive oil comes in first because it serves as the core of the Mediterranean diet, regardless of your dietary inclination: vegan, gluten-free, low-fat, vegetarian, etc. The extra virgin variety is rich in polyphenols, carotenoids, and tocopherols, which give the oil its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. With this in your kitchen, you can enjoy a versatile cooking experience, as olive oil can be used for day-to-day staples such as salad dressings, spreads, and dips. When shopping for high-quality olive oil, it's best to go for the ones in darker bottles. The reason is that heat and light affect the quality of oil by affecting the delicate fats content and making them rancid. With a tinted bottle, the action of heat and light can be avoided. At home, ensure to store your oil in a cool, dark place to preserve its integrity and quality in the long run. 2. Fresh seasonal vegetables. Fresh seasonal produce sourced from your local farmer's market is another staple in the Mediterranean diet. Dark leafy vegetables such as collard greens, beet greens, kale, and mustard greens can be used to make beans and lentil soups and frittatas. On the other hand, wild greens such as dandelion, chicory, and rocket can be eaten with some raw and cooked foods. Other veggies affiliated to this eating pattern include onions, mushrooms, broccoli, radishes, eggplant, artichokes, cucumber, and beets. Garlic especially is one of the mainstay ingredients in Mediterranean diets. Its use as a versatile ingredient for flavoring means it can be added to an array of foods, ranging from dishes to grains to soups and sauces. What's more, garlic is loaded with tons of health benefits. Fruits that can be eaten on the Mediterranean diet are pomegranate, apricots, stone fruits, apples, avocados, grapes, figs, citrus, and dates. Lemon slightly features here too because it can be used in preparation of beans, soups, veggies, and fish to give them that fresh finish. 3. Fish and other seafood. Fish with health benefits like swordfish, mackerel, tuna, and salmon, among others, are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These fish form a substantial part of the Mediterranean eating pattern and can easily fit into any type of diet. For instance, you can make a tuna sandwich as your on-the-go meal or bake some salmon for your dinner. You can go further by throwing in some vegetables and whole grains for an even bigger meal. Fish, including other seafoods like shellfish, are also great sources of protein and can be eaten canned or fresh. Shrimp, clams, and mussels can be added to grain and pasta dishes for extra taste. Otherwise, they can be served alone with herbs, olive oil, and lemon. Many versions of the Mediterranean diet encourage practitioners to eat seafood at least twice every week. 4. Artisanal cheeses and Greek yogurt. The Mediterranean diet allows you to enjoy small portions of full-fat dairy foods alongside whole grains, vegetables, and lots of fruits. In addition to adding extra protein content to meals sourced from plants, yogurt is typically pasteurized, meaning it has lots of healthy probiotics for the gut. When purchasing cheeses, it's best to go for traditionally cultured cheeses that are made from natural cultures such as milk, instead of the typical processed ones that can be found in stores. Aside from being used to prepare a classic dish like Greek salad, feta cheese can be used alongside fish dishes and stews. Halloumi is well known for having a firmer texture than other cheese, which makes it the ideal variety for your frying and grilling needs. Much harder cheeses, such as the Parmigiano Reggiano and Pecorino Romano, can be grated onto pasta, while Manchego can be added into egg dishes and baked. 5. Spices and fresh herbs. Spices and aromatic herbs are another staple in the Mediterranean diet. These seasoning agents are sourced from plants to help lower the need for excess salt in food. Additionally, they help to infuse foods with antioxidants that improve health. Every region in the Mediterranean has a flavor preference particular to them. However, you can always count on herbs like bay leaves, parsley, coriander, oregano, and basil to come in handy in several dishes. For instance, you can put some fresh basil to use by preparing some homemade pesto. Alternatively, a bunch of fresh parsley can help create the base of some zesty gremolata. 6. Seeds and nuts. Seeds and nuts are versatile foods in the Mediterranean diet. They can be eaten as snacks because of their high fat, protein, and fiber content. Otherwise, they can be used to prepare dishes. For instance, Tahini is a usual condiment on the coastline of the Mediterranean. It is made using sesame seeds, which are ground for the recipe. Another widely used condiment is hummus, which is versatile and can be used to improve salad dressings. Hummus can be added to dressings or sauces and spooned over grain bowls or roasted vegetables for an exquisite taste. 7. Red wine. Wine is a common accompaniment to Mediterranean meals, but it's generally consumed in moderation. A 5-ounce pour is the standard. Red wine, in particular, contains antioxidant polyphenols and the flavonoid resveratrol, which may help increase HDL cholesterol and decrease LDL cholesterol levels. Learn more about the health benefits of wine. 8. Canned tomatoes. Any form of tomatoes, whether concentrated into a paste, fresh, canned, stewed, diced, or whole, are day-to-day staples of traditional Mediterranean diets. Canned tomato products tend to have high levels of lycopene, which come about as a result of the heating process involved in their preparation. Lycopene is believed to help stem the development of certain kinds of cancers. Some common staples consisting of tomatoes as eaten in the Mediterranean diet are marinara sauce, baked fish with tomatoes, shashushka, and stuffed tomatoes. 9. Legumes, canned and dried. Chickpeas are one of the most common pulses consumed in Mediterranean cuisines across the world. This legume can be used in preparation of falafel, whipped into hummus, or tossed into salads. Another legume commonly used to prepare stews and soups is lentils. They pack proteins and fiber and make for the perfect one-pot meals. Cannellini beans, kidney beans, and black beans can be tossed into salads and drizzled with a dash of olive oil and a squeeze of fresh lemon for a tasty dish. 10. Whole grains. The foundation of many Mediterranean diets is buried in wheat. One of the more traditional grains eaten in the traditional Mediterranean diets is farro, which the Italians use to prepare both cold salads and hot dishes. Bulgur is another example of a classic grain that is prepared from cracked wheat berries. It can be used to prepare tabbouleh and pilafs. Barley, pasta, and couscous are also common finds, although their prevalence differs across regions. When you go whole grain shopping, ensure to look out for the words whole grain or whole on the ingredients list on the front of the packaging. They are usually the first ingredients listed. 11. Capers and olives. Table olives can be eaten as simple snacks or used to complement a meal of crudités. When it comes to olives, Kalamata variety is up there with the other popular varieties and can be tossed into pasta and Greek salads or whipped into tapenade. Olives are high in fats that are good for the heart and antioxidant polyphenols. Whether dried or brined, capers are loved for their briny tang and how they can improve the flavors of foods such as dressings, baked fish, and pasta without much effort. In conclusion, the Mediterranean diet serves as a forerunner to a more minimal pattern of eating. The general culinary foundation of the diet is rooted in the preparation of fish and seasonal ingredients using flavor agents sourced from plants, such as herbs, spices, citrus, and olive oil, lean proteins, and whole grains. Albeit, adopting the eating pattern of the Mediterranean region should also be a lifestyle. Take your time to prepare homemade meals and enjoy them with good company, as the philosophy of the diet advises. Take note of the sizes of your portions to avoid waste or overeating. Adhere to the simple rules of the diet and stock up on healthy food items you will find in the list below. Enjoy the experience of the Mediterranean diet and eat your way to good health. Here's a basic shopping list for what to get when shopping for your Mediterranean diet. Cooking oils. You want to get avocado oil and olive oil. Sweets. For sweets, you're better off with natural sweeteners like dried fruits, strawberries, grapes, etc., dates, and honey. Vegetables. When shopping for vegetables, pick spinach, leafy greens, potatoes, bell peppers, onions, fresh or canned tomatoes, carrots, squash, artichokes, beets, leeks, celery, cucumber, turnips, mushrooms, fennel, arugula, green beans, eggplant, cauliflower, zucchini, cabbage, garlic, kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and others. Herbs and spices. Stock up on coriander, oregano, saffron, rosemary, thyme, paprika, cinnamon, mint, dill, herbes de Provence, cumin, basil, parsley, red pepper, fennel seeds, tarragon, za'atar, etc. Grains. For grains, get chickpea flour, quinoa, oats, whole wheat flour, bulgur, brown rice, barley, farro, couscous, whole wheat bread, frike, wheat berries, whole wheat breadcrumbs, whole wheat pasta, etc. Dairy products. Buy full-fat yogurt, Parmesan cheese, feta cheese, ricotta cheese, halloumi cheese, and manchego cheese. Fruits. Go for fruits like citrus, orange, lemon, etc., apples, peaches, cherries, melons, grapes, apricots, pears, berries, figs, etc. Meats. You can add meats like duck, turkey, and chicken to your food, but limit consumption of red meat to a few times monthly. Legumes. Go for kidney beans, black-eyed peas, lentils, etc. Nuts and seeds. Almonds, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, walnuts, pine nuts, pecans, sunflower seeds, chia seeds, pistachios, hazelnuts, and cashews can serve as snacks or food ingredients. Seafood. You can't go wrong with mahi-mahi, mussels, crabs, anchovies, shrimp, tuna, clams, sardines, oysters, halibut, trout, scallops, squid, mackerel, salmon, and sea bass. Flavorings and condiments. For your dressings and dips, get salt, cayenne, sage, bay leaves, nutmeg, balsamic vinegar, ginger, red wine vinegar, among others. Chapter 5. The Mediterranean Diet Pyramid. The idea behind the Mediterranean diet in historic societies was mostly about getting people together for a meal. For example, you wouldn't have to eat your food on the go or hurriedly gobble it down. The diet comes with Mediterranean philosophy that encourages the social aspect of dieting by bringing people together for the purpose of enjoying a meal and good company. The idea behind this philosophy is to prevent being overwhelmed by helping you unwind and de-stress. As a result, you'll be less likely to overeat and be more conscious and mindful of your food. A basic pyramid of the Mediterranean diet is outlined below. 1. Plant-based foods. This section includes foods like herbs, nuts, fruits, beans, and vegetables. It could also contain foods like pasta, whole grain bread, and cereals. 2. Eggs and poultry. These foods are only consumed in moderate amounts. 3. Dessert. Although consuming sweets is somewhat of a gray area in the Mediterranean diet, it can be taken occasionally. However, a better alternative would be fresh fruits, as they are more filling and can satisfy your sweet tooth for longer. 4. Foods with unsaturated fats. The basic sources of fats in the Mediterranean diet can also be sourced from plants such as avocados, nuts, olives, seeds, etc., for their oils. 5. Beverages. Taking enough water is imperative in the Mediterranean diet. You could also make do with a glass of wine during mealtime, particularly red wine. 6. Seafood. Seafood is a major constituent of the Mediterranean diet with a huge role to play. Typically, people in the Mediterranean region consume more seafood than meat because seafood is rich in omega fatty acids from fish. Chapter 6. Risks associated with the Mediterranean diet. So far, there are no known major risks that come with adopting a traditional version of the Mediterranean diet, so long as a physician is consulted beforehand. Some health issues may be caused by the interaction of food of MAOIs, monoamine oxidase inhibitors. The condition, although relatively uncommon, could prove fatal with about 90 fatalities recorded across a period of 40 years. The risk of contracting chronic diseases from the use of olive oil contaminated by aflatoxin is also worth considering, although the risk of such an occurrence is minimal in places like Canada and the United States. Below are some health concerns that the Mediterranean diet could pose to some people. 1. Loss of calcium. Since dairy products are relatively fewer in some versions of the Mediterranean diet, you may end up with calcium loss. To prevent this, consult your primary healthcare provider for recommendations on calcium supplements. 2. Weight gain. The fats in foods like nuts and olive oil can result in unscrupulous weight gain. 3. Iron deficiency. Like with calcium loss, you may end up with reduced levels of iron when you adopt the Mediterranean diet. To prevent iron deficiency, ensure to consume foods with high amounts of vitamin C or iron to help your body absorb more iron from foods. 4. Potential health risks. Wine is a staple in most Mediterranean diets, and it can be problematic for a lot of people who shouldn't be allowed to have alcohol. For starters, people that are pregnant, susceptible to alcohol abuse, prone to breast cancer, and other conditions that could worsen with alcohol consumption shouldn't take wine. Finally, if you decide to adopt any version of the Mediterranean diet, ensure to consult with your primary healthcare provider. They will tell you how to maintain a balanced diet and recommend some supplements for you to take. Precautions. Before making any key changes to your eating patterns, first check in with your dietitian or physician to ensure that the new dietary plan is good for you. Additionally, for those taking MAOIs, monoamine oxidase inhibitor, to manage their depression, getting a medical go-ahead is imperative. Because the drugs tend to interact with a tyramine, a chemical found in many foods which can result in sudden spikes in blood pressure. Tyramine is a major content of aged cheeses and wines, especially good ones like Chianti. On the other hand, for people adopting this diet to lose weight, it's best to keep track of the size of your portions and regularly monitor how much yogurt, cheese, and olive oil you use. These ingredients have high levels of fat. Alternatively, you can use low-fat yogurts and cheeses. Since olive oil is one of the staples of the Mediterranean diet, you should only procure it from reliable vendors. The safety of olive oil is usually not a concern in regions around North America. However, some samples of the oil sold in North Africa and Europe tend to have been contaminated by mycotoxins, which are toxins produced by the fungi and molds that grow on olives and other fruits. Some mycotoxins are more potent than others, with some having no known effect on humans. But aflatoxin, which is a component of olive oil, has been identified as a strong carcinogen that could possibly result in liver cancer. Chapter 7. Myths about the Mediterranean diet. 1. Adopting a Mediterranean diet means switching to foreign foods that are hard to get. False! The Mediterranean diet comprises foods that are staples almost everywhere across the globe, such as seafood, dairy, and produce. The telling difference in the diet is the frequency with which certain foods are consumed. Foods such as grains, vegetables, and fruits form the core diet, while red meats and sweets are consumed in smaller portions and less frequently. 2. Will the Mediterranean diet allow me to eat whatever I want? Not really. It wouldn't be a diet if you could eat anything at all now, would it? All kinds of foods have their respective places on the Mediterranean diet pyramid, but frequency and portion size still apply. 3. The Mediterranean diet is a fad with more promises than proof. Again, false. The Mediterranean diet is more than just a diet. It's a lifestyle and a more sustainable feeding pattern that prioritizes overall well-being. 4. The Mediterranean diet doesn't allow for sweets and meats. Not true. Although most foods are advised against, they can be consumed in moderate amounts. There is a place for every food on the Mediterranean diet pyramid. 5. The Mediterranean diet is a new pattern of eating. If only. This eating pattern has been around long enough through several decades. It's been studied and proved for over 60 years by some of the most brilliant minds. Angel Keys, credited as the father of the Mediterranean diet, was a researcher who first happened on the eating pattern in the 1940s. He discovered how much longer people lived by abiding to this diet and shared it with the whole world. Frequently asked questions. 1. Must I start drinking wine when adopting the Mediterranean diet? Absolutely not. Wine is an optional beverage in this diet type and can be avoided if it could jeopardize your well-being. 2. Need I consult anyone before taking up the Mediterranean diet? Yes, you should. Ensure to consult your dietitian and physician before making the switch. They should give you all the necessary information about the diet. 3. As a diet, does it mean I will be hungry most of the time? No! This is where the Mediterranean diet puts others to shame, because it's more than just restrictive eating and tasteless foods. It's a lifestyle of eating healthy that features foods like whole grains, vegetables, beans, fruit, fish, and others that aid good health. 4. How can I adhere to the Mediterranean diet? Adhering to the Mediterranean diet isn't rocket science. All you have to do is stock up on healthy foods that you love. Here are some tips to help you. Be selective of the kinds of fats you consume. Ensure they're healthy, like the ones in fish, avocado, nuts, and olive oil. Take enough water. Drink wine moderately or skip it otherwise. Go for leaner proteins like poultry and fish instead of red meats. Let the base of all your meals be foods like spices, beans, vegetables, nuts, fruits, herbs, and whole grains. Consume cheese and yogurt in small quantities daily. 5. Can I still eat my carbohydrates on the Mediterranean diet? This is a typical problem for most people who are obsessed with carbs or who have had it in their diet for so long it's become a staple, like Americans. First of all, let's debunk the idea that all carbohydrates are bad. Forget low-carb diets that make you cut down on certain foods to shed weight. There are 3 problems that such a diet presents in the long and short term. For starters, carbs are necessary for the body because they are energy-giving foods. Secondly, there are complex carbohydrates which are healthy, and then there is the simple but highly processed carbs which are unhealthy. Finally, on such diets, returning to consuming carbohydrates would only result in weight gain after losing some pounds. At a supermarket, perusing the aisle that holds bread is similar to going through rows of highly processed, unhealthy foods. Every regular prepackaged sliced bread comes with loads of sugars, usually in the form of honey or fructose corn syrup. But that's not the end of it. There are tons of other omitted and unrecognizable ingredients in one loaf of store-bought sliced bread. In itself, bread isn't necessarily a bad food. The traditional ingredient for bread usually revolves around yeast, water, flour, and a little bit of salt. But most bakeries aberrate from the original recipe to make their breads more appealing. For a healthier alternative, you can bake your own bread or patronize your local bakery that adheres to healthy recipes. Take note, not all bread is unhealthy, only the bad ones are. Another dish to take into cognizance is pasta, because many people outrightly try to exclude it from their diet. The Mediterranean diet is also eaten in Italy, and Italians don't exclude pasta from their diet. If anything, they don't consume lots of it like other regions. This goes to show that pasta isn't necessarily harmful to you. The way it is prepared and the amount you consume are what you should be careful about. Americans consume lots of pasta and throw in lots of cheese-based sauces and meat. In Italy, pasta is typically made as a small course within a much larger meal or main course. They begin their meals with appetizers, which are typically carpaccios of fish or made from vegetables. The follow-up course to the appetizer is pasta, which is served in little portions and glazed with sauces made from the natural juices of meat or vegetables. The pasta isn't smothered in sauce or rolled in cheese. Nothing fancy. Just straight to the point and healthier. Afterwards, the next food is served in a little portion of a protein course, where meat, poultry, or fish is the bulk of the food. At the end, all the meals round up to a properly balanced diet without the fear of weight gain or unhealthy carbs. So you needn't bother about pasta. In fact, the unhealthy pastas are the ones being presented as brown rice varieties, whole wheat varieties, or other varieties of fake pastas that dominate the aisle tagged healthy foods. When broken down, pasta is basically a mix of eggs, optional, oil, semolina flour, and water. In summary, all carbs are not the enemy. They're healthy and can be eaten in moderation. The bad carbs are the highly processed ones, which you need to steer clear of. Also, avoid consuming large portions of carbs all at once because too much of everything is unhealthy. 6. What if I don't have the time to prepare my own food? This shouldn't be a question if you want to eat healthy, but it's seemingly a challenge for many folks. The answer is simple. Make the time. It may sound unreasonable, but it's time to give yourself some tough love. Dinner, lunch, and breakfast don't take an entire day to make. You can always prepare your ingredients beforehand if you'll be pressed for time, rather than waste your free hours on unnecessary tasks. Is this week's crossword puzzle more important than a healthy meal tomorrow? I don't suppose so. Even when you want to prepare an elaborate dish, the bulk of the time is spent on waiting rather than cooking, meaning there's time to sneak in some other tasks. For instance, when making turkey for Thanksgiving, after popping the bird into the oven, you're free for another couple of hours. It's not like you have to regularly add ingredients or anything. But even as straightforward as most meals are, many people are still convinced that dinner is the most difficult meal to make, which is a lie, by the way. Think of it as a ploy you were sold to make you purchase more expensive, highly processed, pre-packaged foods. Everyone knows what it's like to have a long day at work only to return home to an absent dinner. And the last thing you want to do is drag your tired, sweaty self into the kitchen and start making some food. Instead, you throw on some clothes and go out to eat. It seems like a better alternative until you start putting on weight, go down with food poisoning, and get high blood pressure. What's more, you'll more likely eat late and go to bed with a relatively full stomach, which is bad for your health. And all because you couldn't get yourself to make dinner. As an alternative, make meals in advance to stock up your fridge. That way, all you'll have to do is pick any meal you feel like and leave it to thaw on days you'll come in late. Or you could prepare meals during the wee hours in the morning, so you can just pop them in the microwave and have a good dinner. It also helps to keep ingredients around the house so you can easily improvise a quick meal of rice, soup, or salad. When you go shopping, stock up on some quick, tasty meals which you can safely eat whenever you are pressed for time. Admitting to not having enough time is merely an excuse for negligence. If you're serious about eating healthy and sticking to the Mediterranean diet, you will find ways around preparing your meals or making time to eat healthy. Eating healthy isn't another pastime, it's a necessity and a subject to be prioritized. The more you enjoy the process of making your own food and sharing with friends and family, the more you're adopting the philosophy of the Mediterranean diet. Let every meal be a special act for yourself, because you are worth the time and effort. You deserve a good home-cooked meal that is as tasty as it is healthy. 7. Can I still have smoothies on a Mediterranean diet? If you're big on smoothies, by all means, indulge yourself. Everyone likes to enjoy a good smoothie every now and then, but perspective plays a role here. Do you drink smoothies to lose weight? Depending on your reason for taking them, smoothies can be a playground for calories due to their ingredients. So, like other foods, it's imperative to be intentional about your smoothies. Fruits tend to pack a lot of natural sugars, so if you're about losing weight, it's best to add some veggies to your smoothies to prevent too much sugar from getting into your diet. You can also use smoothies as replacements for food. Smoothies can be crammed with lots of healthy stuff, and when paired with meals, may result in a case of excess calories. 8. Can I still get Starbucks when I switch to the Mediterranean diet? Suffice it to say, the regions bordering the Mediterranean Sea have a fairly steep inclination to coffee, so on a Mediterranean diet you can still have your Starbucks. However, caution is necessary, especially when making orders. Coffee is a strong beverage with high antioxidant capabilities. When taken moderately, coffee can be quite healthy. However, when overdone, like any other thing, it can become detrimental to your health. On a Mediterranean diet, you can opt for a simple drink of coffee. Make yourself a nice brew or get an espresso. You could also try a decaf non-fat latte. This is especially for people who enjoy the creaminess latte leaves in the mouth, but aren't big fans of the taste or the feeling of whole milk. Also, with a non-fat latte, you can rest assured that you aren't slurping down a cupful of calories. The sweet stuff sold at Starbucks can be overloaded with calories and sugars, so you have to be mindful about the kinds of orders you place. But if you love your caramel frappuccino too much to give it up, opt for a smaller serving. Afterwards, make up for it throughout the rest of the day by exercising and consuming healthy foods. Chapter 8. 7-Day Mediterranean Diet Food Plan. Day 1. Breakfast. Spinach and goat cheese egg muffins. Lunch. Lettuce wraps. Dinner. Portobello mushroom pizzas with arugula salad. Day 2. Breakfast. Snow pea and ricotta toast. Lunch. Prosciutto, mozzarella, and melon plate. Dinner. Walnut rosemary crusted salmon. Day 3. Breakfast. Charred breakfast skillet. Lunch. Chicken quinoa bowl. Dinner. Slow cooker quinoa with arugula. Day 4. Breakfast. Savory spinach oatmeal. Lunch. Bento. Dinner. Stuffed chicken breasts. Day 5. Breakfast. Healthy herb frittata. Lunch. Charcuterie bistro. Dinner. Chicken spinach with artichoke stuffed spaghetti squash. Day 6. Breakfast. Spinach curry cubes. Lunch. slow cooker chicken and chickpea soup. Dinner, charred shrimp and pesto. Day 7. Breakfast, salmon hash with sunny side up eggs. Lunch, hummus and Greek salad. Dinner, sheet pan salmon with sweet potatoes and broccoli. Chapter 9. Recipes. Mediterranean breakfast recipes. Sautéed dandelion toast. Preparation time, 10 minutes. Cook time, 5 minutes. Total time, 15 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons small mint leaves, 1 small red onion, minced, 1 loaf ciabatta, cut and toasted, pinch red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon grated lemon zest, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1/4 cup plain yogurt, don't choose Greek, 1 bunch dandelion greens, 4 ounces feta cheese, grated, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Directions: set your stove to medium heat and place a skillet containing olive oil on it. Sauté pepper flakes and red onion into the pan for about 5 minutes. Add lemon juice and cook for about 30 minutes. The juice should have completely disappeared at this point. 2. Take the pan down and toss in the dandelion greens, salt, and pepper. 3. Into a food processor, add the cheese and pulse until smooth. Next, add the cooked lemon juice and yogurt, and process until you get a creamy mixture. 4. Spread this mixture onto the toasted ciabatta. Top with mint leaves and greens. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 300. Protein, 10 grams. Carbohydrates, 34 grams. Fiber, 4 grams. Fat, 14.5 grams. Saturated fat, 5.5 grams. Grain bowl with sautéed spinach. Preparation time, 4 minutes. Cook time, 6 minutes. Total time, 10 minutes. Servings, 2. Ingredients: 1 large egg, 2 cups leftover cooked rice, warmed, 1/2 avocado, chopped, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, 1 medium tomato chopped into 1-inch bits, 1 clove garlic, minced, 1/4 teaspoon pepper, 1/4 teaspoon kosher salt, 4 cups chopped spinach leaves. Directions: 1. Place a large non-stick pan containing oil over medium heat. Cook your garlic in the pan for about a minute or until it turns light brown. Toss in spinach, salt, and pepper and cook for about 2 minutes. 2. Separate rice into bowls and add the spinach mixture to the grain. 3. Cook eggs in the empty pan for about 3 minutes. Add the cooked eggs to the bowls and serve. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 458. Protein, 14 grams. Carbohydrates, 56 grams. Fiber, 9 grams. Fat, 21 grams. Saturated fat, 4 grams. Spinach and goat cheese egg muffins. Preparation time, 12 minutes. Cook time, 33 minutes. Total time, 45 minutes. Servings, 12. Ingredients: 1/4 cup fresh goat cheese, grated, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, 15-ounce pack baby spinach, diced, 1 large red pepper, chopped, 1/2 cup milk, 2 scallions, diced, 6 large eggs, kosher salt, pepper. Directions: 1. Make sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Prepare a 12-cup muffin pan with non-stick cooking spray. 2. Add olive oil into the pan and place it on a stove set to medium heat. Stir in a pinch of ground pepper, a pinch of salt, and a chopped red pepper. Cover the pan and cook for about 8 minutes. 3. Crack eggs into a large bowl. Stir in milk, a pinch of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon salt. Also, add the red pepper mixture into the bowl and mix. 4. Add the batter into the muffin cups. Fill each cup 1/4 of the way. Add grated goat cheese on each cup and bake for about 25 minutes. Take the pan out and let it cool down for 5 minutes. Serve muffins warm. Nutritional information per serving. Calories 65. Protein 4 grams. Carbohydrates 2 grams. Fiber 1 gram. Fat 4.5 grams. Saturated fat 1.5 grams. Snow pea and ricotta toast. Preparation time 10 minutes. Cook time 0 minutes. Total time 10 minutes. Servings 4. Ingredients: 4 ounces ricotta, 4 ounces snow peas, 4 slices bread, toasted, 1 tablespoon white wine vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, 1/2 teaspoon honey, 2 teaspoons prepared horseradish. Directions: in a crosswise manner, put the snow peas into 1/4 inch thick pieces. Add the chopped snow peas into a medium-sized bowl and stir in vinegar, horseradish, salt, oil, and honey. 2. Spread 1 ounce of ricotta on the toasted bread slices and top with the snow pea mixture. Nutritional information per serving. Calories 131. Protein 4 grams. Carbohydrates 17 grams. Fiber 2 grams. Fat 5.5 grams. Saturated fat 1.5 grams. Charred breakfast skillet. Preparation 13 minutes. Cook time 15 minutes. Total time 28 minutes. Servings 4. Ingredients: 4 large eggs, 1 1/4 cups quartered cherry tomatoes, 1/2 teaspoon freshly ground black pepper, 1 tablespoon red wine vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 bunches rainbow chard, 4 cloves garlic thinly sliced, 2 cups large diced yellow onion, 3 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil. Directions: 1. Add vinegar and tomatoes into a small bowl and toss well. 2. Separate the chard leaves from their stems. Dice the chard leaves and put them into a large bowl containing cool water. Rinse leaves well and place them in a colander. Chop the chard stems and set them aside. 3. Set your stove to medium heat and place a large cast iron skillet containing olive oil on it. Sauté the onions and chard stems for about 10 minutes. Reduce the heat to low and sauté for another minute. 4. Increase the heat to high, throw in the chard leaves, salt and pepper, and toss until the leaves are soft. 5. Press down with the back of a spoon to make 4 indents in the mixture. Break 1 egg into each indent and cook with the lid on for about 4 minutes. 6. Pour in the vinegar mixture, toss, and serve. Nutritional information per serving. Calories 245. Protein 11 grams. Carbohydrates 17 grams. Fiber 5 grams. Fat 16 grams. Saturated fat 3 grams. Sheet pan egg tacos. Preparation time 15 minutes. Cook time 5 minutes. Total time 20 minutes. Servings 4. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons lime juice, 8 ounces tomatillos, husked, 2 1/2 cups fresh cilantro, 1 jalapeno, halved and seeded, 8 large eggs, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, 4 ounces sharp cheddar cheese, grated, 8 small corn tortillas, kosher salt, diced radishes. Directions: place an oven rack 6 inches from your broiler. Attach another to be 12 inches from the broiler. Allow the broiler to heat up. 2. Add jalapeno, salt, tomatillos, and olive oil onto a rimmed baking sheet. Toss. Transfer the baking sheet to the top rack of the broiler and cook for about 10 minutes. Take the pan out and transfer its contents into a blender. 3. On another baking sheet, arrange the tortillas and spread grated cheese among them. Allow for 8 small wells in the center and crack an egg into each well. Place the baking sheet in the middle rack and broil for about 6 minutes, or until desired doneness is achieved. 4. Into the blender, add lime juice, 2 cups of cilantro, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Puree until you get a smooth mixture. Serve with tacos. Place diced radishes and 1/2 cup of cilantro on top. Nutritional information per serving. Calories 433. Protein 25 grams. Carbohydrates, 22 grams. Fiber, 5 grams. Fat, 28 grams. Saturated fat, 13 grams. Salmon hash with sunny-side-up eggs. Preparation time, 20 minutes. Cook time, 30 minutes. Total time, 50 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 3 tablespoons diced chives, 8 ounces small potatoes, or 14. 4 large eggs, 1 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt, 1 1/4 pound skinless salmon chopped into 2-inch pieces, 1/2 teaspoon pepper, 1 small red onion, chopped, 2 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil, 2 small bell peppers, diced. Directions: 1. Pour cold water into a small saucepan to cover it 2 inches of the way. Add the potatoes into the saucepan and place it over medium heat. When it starts boiling, add 1 teaspoon of salt. Reduce the heat to low and allow it to simmer for about 15 minutes. Drain the potatoes and halve them. 2. Increase the heat to medium and place a large skillet containing 1 tablespoon of olive oil on it. Stir in 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon ground pepper, onions, and bell peppers. Allow to cook for about 8 minutes, then transfer the mixture into a bowl. 3. Add 1/2 tablespoon of oil into the same skillet and place it on the stove. When it gets hot, place seasoned salmon, 1/4 teaspoon of both salt and pepper, in the pan, and cook both sides for 4 minutes, or until they turn golden brown. Transfer the cooked salmon to a plate and clean the pan. 4. Place the pan on a stove set to medium to high heat and add 1/2 tablespoon of oil. Cook the potatoes for 4 minutes, or until they turn light brown. Add the bell pepper mixture into the pan and combine well. Set aside. 5. Add what remains of the olive oil into a medium-sized skillet and place it over medium heat. Crack eggs into the pan and cook, sunny side up, for about 3 minutes if you like runny yolks. Add remaining salt and pepper. 6. Place salmon in the pan containing the potatoes and veggies and fold. Also mix in 2 tablespoons chives. Serve salmon hash and place eggs on top. Garnish with 1 tablespoon chives. Nutritional information per serving. Calories: 365. Protein: 37 grams. Carbohydrates: 15 grams. Fiber: 2 grams. Fat: 17 grams. Saturated fat: 4 grams. Shakshuka. Preparation time: 10 minutes. Cook time: 30 minutes. Total time: 40 minutes. Servings: 6. Ingredients: 1/4 cup diced fresh mint leaves, extra virgin olive oil, 1/4 cup chopped fresh parsley leaves, 1 large yellow onion, 6 large eggs, 2 green peppers, 1/2 cup tomato sauce, 2 garlic cloves peeled and diced, 6 cups chopped ripe tomatoes, 1 teaspoon ground coriander, salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon sweet paprika, 1/2 teaspoon ground cumin, 1/8 teaspoon red pepper flakes. Directions: 1. Place a large skillet containing 3 tablespoons oil over medium heat. Add spices, onions, garlic, green peppers, 1/8 teaspoon salt, and pepper. Stir as it cooks for about 5 minutes. 2. Put in the tomato sauce and ripe tomatoes. Cover the pan and let it cook for another 15 minutes. Uncover the pan and cook for another 17 minutes for the mixture to thicken. 3. Make 6 indentations in the tomato mixture with the back of a wooden spoon. Crack an egg into each indentation. Reduce the heat to low, cover the pan, and cook until the eggs set. 4. Top with mint leaves, parsley, and crushed red pepper. Serve with your preferred crusty bread. Nutritional information per serving. Calories: 154. Protein: 9 grams. Carbohydrates: 14.1 grams. Fiber: 2 grams. Fat: 7.8 grams. Saturated fat: 1 gram. Blueberry parfait. Preparation time: 25 minutes. Cook time: 10 minutes. Total time: 35 minutes. Servings: 4. Ingredients: 3 cups Greek yogurt, 1 cup freeze-dried blueberries, 1/4 cup golden raisins, 1 cup water, 1 tablespoon orange zest, 1/8 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon flaky sea salt, 3 tablespoons walnuts, pinch cardamom, 3 tablespoons almonds, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 3 tablespoons pecans, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, 3 tablespoons pepitas. Directions. 1. Add 1/2 cup of freeze-dried blueberries into a food processor. Pulse to form powder. Transfer to a saucepan containing water. Whisk and cook over low heat for about 15 minutes. By this time, the paste should have thickened. Mix in a pinch of salt and set aside. 2. In a baking sheet, toss cinnamon, walnuts, olive oil, pecans, flaky sea salt, almonds, and pepitas. Toast in an oven set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 6 minutes. Add orange zest, golden raisins, and the remaining freeze-dried blueberries. Combine. 3. Serve in this order. 3/4 cup of Greek yogurt, 1 heaping tablespoon of blueberry sauce, and 1/4 cup of nut mixture. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 415. Protein, 22 grams. Carbohydrates, 28 grams. Fiber, 4 grams. Fat, 25.5 grams. Saturated fat, 6.5 grams. Savory Spanish oatmeal. Preparation time, 15 minutes. Cook time, 15 minutes. Total time, 30 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients. For the sauce, 1/3 cup diced roasted red peppers, 1 tablespoon tomato paste, 1/4 cup toasted almonds, 1 clove garlic, 1 tablespoon red wine vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon smoked paprika, 1/8 teaspoon cayenne. For the oatmeal, 1/4 teaspoon pepper, 1 cup old-fashioned oats, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 cups almond milk. For the chorizo, 1/2 pound uncooked chorizo, scattered, 1/2 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, 2 cloves garlic, diced, 1/2 onion, chopped. For serving, 1 poached egg, fresh parsley, chopped. Directions. Set your stove to medium-high heat and place in a saucepan containing a mixture of almond milk, 1/4 teaspoon salt, pepper, and oats. When it starts to boil, reduce the heat to low and simmer for 10 minutes. Stir occasionally while it cooks. 2. Place another pan on a stove set to medium heat. Add oil into the pan. When the oil heats up, add onions and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Cook for 3 minutes or until the onions are translucent and fragrant. Add garlic and cook for 1 more minute. Add chorizo and cook for 5 minutes. Take the pan down. 3. Into a food processor, add vinegar, red pepper, almonds, tomato paste, paprika, cayenne, and garlic. Pulse until it forms a chunky paste. 4. Serve oatmeal in 4 bowls. Add 1/4 cup of chorizo mixture, 1/2 poached egg, and 2 tablespoons of sauce on top. Garnish with parsley. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 415. Protein, 19.7 grams. Carbohydrates, 34.3 grams. Fiber, 6.2 grams. Fat, 21.4 grams. Saturated fat, 2 grams. Savory lentil waffles. Preparation time, 10 minutes. Cook time, 10 minutes. Total time, 20 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients. 1/4 cups roasted almonds, diced. 14.5 ounces canned lentils, rinsed. 4 cups baby arugula. 1/4 small red onion, minced. Pinch pepper and salt. 1/4 cup golden raisins, diced. 1/4 teaspoon ground coriander. 3 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil. 1 teaspoon curry powder. 3 tablespoons sherry vinegar. 1 cup store-bought waffle mix. Plain Greek yogurt. Directions. Add sherry vinegar, lentils, red onion, olive oil, and raisins in a medium-sized bowl. Mix well and set aside. 2. Into a separate large bowl, add ground coriander, curry powder, salt, pepper, and waffle mix. Whisk. Using a waffle maker, prepare waffles according to the manufacturer's instructions. 3. Add almonds and arugula into the vinegar mixture. Toss. 4. Break waffles on a plate and drizzle with Greek yogurt. Add salad on top. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 389. Protein, 13 grams. Carbohydrates, 50 grams. Fiber, 10 grams. Fat, 16 grams. Saturated fat, 2 grams. Healthy herb frittata. Preparation time, 15 minutes. Cook time, 25 minutes. Total time, 40 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 4 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil, 1/4 cup creme fraiche, pepper, kosher salt, 1 cup dill fronds, 2 tablespoons diced chives, 2½ cups cilantro leaves and stems, 6 large eggs, 2½ cups parsley leaves, flat leaf, 6 scallions, minced. Directions: make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. 2. In a bowl, mix chives and creme fraiche. Keep in your refrigerator for later. 3. Add 2 tablespoons of oil, scallions, dill, parsley, and cilantro into a food processor. Pulse. Crack eggs into a bowl and whisk well. Pour the mixture in the food processor into the bowl of beaten eggs. Season with 1/2 tablespoon of salt and pepper. Combine. 4. Set your stove to medium heat and place a skillet containing 2 tablespoons of oil on it. Allow the oil to heat up for 2 minutes. Cook egg mixture in the pan for 2 minutes. 5. Place the skillet in the oven and bake for 20 minutes. Take the pan out and let it cool down for about 5 minutes. 6. Serve frittata with chive mixture. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 305. Protein, 12 grams. Carbohydrates, 5 grams. Fiber, 2 grams. Fat, 26.5 grams. Saturated fat, 8 grams. Spinach curry crepes. Preparation time, 26 minutes. Cook time, 14 minutes. Total time, 40 minutes. Servings, 6. Ingredients: 10 ounces fresh spinach, 2 large eggs, 2 tablespoons Madras curry powder, 1/3 cup fresh cilantro, diced, 1/4 cup golden raisins, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, 1 Granny Smith apple, chopped, 2 1/2 cup 1% milk, lemon wedges, 15.5 ounce canned chickpeas, rinsed and drained, 1 cup all-purpose flour plus 2 tablespoons extra, 1 small yellow onion, chopped, 3 tablespoons safflower oil, 3/4 tablespoon kosher salt. Directions: 1. Add cilantro, eggs, 1 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of oil, pepper, 1 cup of milk, 1/4 teaspoon of salt into a blender. Puree. 2. Prepare a 10-inch skillet by spraying it with nonstick spray. Place the pan over medium heat and add 1/3 cups of the cilantro mixture. Make sure there is enough space between each batter. Cook for about a minute or until the edges of the crepes set. Flip and cook for another 30 seconds. Repeat with the remaining batter. 3. Clean out the skillet and add 1 tablespoon of oil. Place over medium heat to make the oil hot. Cook onions in the pan for about 5 minutes, then add curry powder, chickpeas, raisins, and apples. Allow to cook for 3 minutes. 4. Mix in 2 tablespoons of flour and cook for 30 seconds. Add the remaining milk and cook for 2 minutes or until the mixture thickens. Stir in 1/2 teaspoon of salt and spinach. Cook for 2 minutes. 5. Top each crepe with the chickpea mixture and fold. Enjoy with lemon wedges. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 327. Protein, 13 grams. Carbohydrates, 47 grams. Fiber, 6 grams. Fat, 11 grams. Saturated fat, 2 grams. Kefir smoothie. Preparation time, 5 minutes. Cook time, 0 minutes. Total time, 5 minutes. Servings, 1. Ingredients: 1/2 cup ice, 1 1/2 cup plain full-fat kefir, cooled, 1 peach, pitted and diced, 1/2 cup raspberries, 1 tablespoon hemp seeds. Directions: Add all the ingredients into a blender and process until you get a smooth and thick mixture. This should take about 30 seconds. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 222. Protein, 9 grams. Carbohydrates, 29 grams. Fiber, 6 grams. Fat, 9 grams. Saturated fat, 3 grams. Curry avocado crispy egg toast. Preparation time, 7 minutes. Cook time, 3 minutes. Total time, 10 minutes. Servings, 2. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons diced cilantro, 1/2 teaspoon curry powder, 2 large eggs, 3 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil, 2 toasted slices whole grain bread, pepper, 1/2 large avocado, kosher salt, 2 teaspoons fresh lime juice. Directions: 1. Set stove to medium and place a skillet on it. Add curry powder into the pan and toast for a minute. Mix in 2 tablespoons of oil. In a bowl, combine lime juice, avocado, and a pinch of salt. Spread this mixture over toast. In a different nonstick pan, add the remaining oil and place it over medium-high heat. Crack eggs into the pan and cook for about 2 minutes, or until the edges of the eggs are browned and the yolks are set. 4. Top avocado toast with eggs, cilantro, and curry powder mixture. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 453. Protein, 13 grams. Carbohydrates, 24 grams. Fiber, 8 grams. Fat, 34.5 grams. Saturated fat, 6 grams. Mediterranean lunch recipes. Lettuce wraps. Preparation time, 10 minutes. Cook time, 0 minutes. Total time, 10 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons chopped parsley, 1/4 cup tahini, 1/4 chopped toasted almonds, 1/4 cup extra virgin olive oil, 12 large lettuce leaves, 1 teaspoon lemon zest, 1/2 cup minced shallots, 1/4 cup lemon juice, 1/2 cup chopped, jarred, roasted red peppers, 1 1/2 teaspoon pure maple syrup, 2 15-ounce cans no salt added chickpeas, 3/4 teaspoon kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon paprika. Directions: 1. Into a large bowl, add paprika, tahini, salt, lemon zest, maple syrup, and lemon juice. Whisk well, then stir in shallots, peppers, and chickpeas. 2. Place 1/3 cup of the chickpea mixture onto each lettuce leaf. Add parsley and almonds on top, then fold the leaves. 3. Serve. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 498. Protein, 15.8. Carbohydrates, 43.7. Fiber, 9.6 grams. Fat, 28 grams. Saturated fat, 3.5 grams. Chicken quinoa bowl. Preparation time, 12 minutes. Cook time, 18 minutes. Total time, 30 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons minced fresh parsley, 1 pound boneless, skinless chicken breasts, trimmed, 1/4 cup feta cheese, grated, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 cup chopped cucumber, 1/4 teaspoon ground pepper, 1/4 cup minced red onion, 7-ounce jar roasted red peppers, rinsed, 1/4 cup Kalamata olives, pitted and diced, 1/4 cup slivered almonds, 2 cups cooked quinoa, 4 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil, 1/4 teaspoon crushed red pepper, 1 small crushed clove garlic, 1/2 teaspoon ground cumin, 1 teaspoon paprika. Directions: 1. Place a rack in the upper third of your oven and set the broiler to high. Prepare a baking sheet by lining it with foil. 2. Season the chicken breast with pepper and salt and place it on the baking sheet. Allow to broil for about 18 minutes. Turn it once. A thermometer placed in the thickest part of the chicken should read 165 degrees Fahrenheit. 3. Place the broiled chicken breast on a cutting board and chop it. 4. Into a mini food processor, add crushed red pepper, roasted red peppers, cumin, almonds, paprika, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and garlic. Pulse until you get a smooth mixture. 5. Add the remaining 2 tablespoons of oil into a medium-sized bowl. Mix in red onion, quinoa, and olives. 6. Add the olive mixture to 4 bowls. Divide the paprika sauce, cucumber, and the chicken breast slices among the bowls. Garnish with grated cheese and parsley. Nutritional information per serving. Calories 519. Protein 34.1 grams. Carbohydrates 31.2 grams. Fiber 4.2 grams. Fat 26.9 grams. Saturated fat 4.5 grams. Charcuterie Bistro. Preparation time 5 minutes. Cook time 0 minutes. Total time 5 minutes. Servings 1. Ingredients: 2 halved large radishes, 1 slice prosciutto, 1/2 cup grapes, 1 halved mozzarella stick, 2 dates, 2 halved breadsticks. Directions: 1. In a lengthwise manner, halve the prosciutto slice. Add cheese to each half of the prosciutto and fold. Add wrapped cheese, radishes, breadsticks, grapes, and dates into a sealable container. 2. Eat immediately or refrigerate for later. Nutritional information per serving. Calories 452. Protein 16.7 grams. Carbohydrates 64.9 grams. Fiber 4.2 grams. Fat 18.1 grams. Saturated fat 5.9 grams. Salmon pita sandwich. Preparation time 10 minutes. Cook time 0 minutes. Total time 10 minutes. Servings 1. Ingredients: 1/2 cup watercress, 2 tablespoons plain non-fat yogurt, 1/2 6-inch whole wheat pita bread, 1/2 teaspoon prepared radish, 2 teaspoons chopped fresh dill, 3 ounces canned flaked sockeye salmon, drained, 2 teaspoons lemon juice. Directions: 1. Mix horseradish, dill, yogurt, and lemon juice into a small bowl. Add salmon and combine. Fill pita bread with salad and watercress. Nutritional information per serving. Calories 239. Protein 24.8 grams. Carbohydrates 19 grams. Fiber 2.3 grams. Fat 7.1 grams. Saturated fat 1.4 grams. Hummus and Greek salad. Preparation time 10 minutes. Cook time 0 minutes. Total time 10 minutes. Servings 1. Ingredients: 1/4 cup hummus, 2 cups arugula, 1 4-inch whole wheat pita, 1/3 cup cherry tomatoes halved, 1 tablespoon feta cheese, 1/3 cup diced cucumber, pinch ground pepper, 1 tablespoon diced red onion, 2 teaspoons red wine vinegar, 1 1/2 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil. Directions: 1. Combine vinegar, oil, chopped red onion, pepper, cucumber, tomatoes, and arugula in a bowl. Top with cheese and enjoy with hummus and pita bread. Nutritional information per serving. Calories 422. Protein 10.9 grams. Carbohydrates 30.5 grams. Fiber 7.3 grams. Fat 29.9 grams. Saturated fat 5.3 grams. Bento. Preparation time 7 minutes. Cook time 8 minutes. Total time 15 minutes. Servings 1. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons hummus, 1/4 cup chickpeas drained and rinsed, 1 whole wheat pita quartered, 1/4 cup diced cucumber, 3 ounces grilled turkey breast, 1/4 cup chopped tomatoes, 1 teaspoon red wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon diced olives, 1/2 teaspoon extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon feta cheese, grated, 1 tablespoon diced parsley, 1 cup grapes. Directions: 1. Into a medium-sized bowl, add chickpeas, vinegar, cucumber, oil, tomatoes, parsley, olives, and cheese. Toss. Keep in a sealable container. 2. Also keep the grilled chicken in a sealable, medium-sized container. 3. The grapes and pita bread should be in the same small container. Hummus should be in another container. 4. Enjoy them together for lunch. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 497. Protein, 35.7 grams. Carbohydrates, 60.5. Fiber, 7.9 grams. Fat, 13.8 grams. Saturated fat, 2.9 grams. Greek chicken and cucumber pita sandwiches with yogurt sauce. Preparation time, 1 hour 37 minutes. Cook time, 8 minutes. Total time, 1 hour 45 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 1 cup diced plum tomatoes, 1 halved English cucumber, seeded and grated, another 1/2 English cucumber, halved, seeded, and sliced. 1/2 cup diced red onion, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 4 lettuce leaves, 3/4 cup non-fat plain Greek yogurt, 2 whole wheat pita bread, halved, 2 teaspoons fresh mint, diced, 1 teaspoon ground pepper, 2 teaspoons diced fresh dill, 1 teaspoon lemon zest, 1 pound chicken tenders, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1/4 teaspoon crushed red pepper, 5 teaspoons extra virgin olive oil, 2 3/4 teaspoons chopped garlic, 1 tablespoon diced oregano. Directions: 1. Mix red pepper, lemon zest, 2 teaspoons garlic, lemon juice, 3 teaspoons olive oil, and oregano in a large bowl. Toss in chicken tenders. Cover in a sealable container and keep in your refrigerator to marinate for an hour. 2. Place grated cucumber and 1/4 teaspoon salt in a sieve. Drain for 15 minutes and squeeze to remove moisture. Place the drained cucumber in a medium bowl. Add the remaining oil, garlic, and salt. Also, add ground pepper, yogurt, dill, and mint. Combine. Keep in a sealable container and store in the refrigerator for later. 3. Preheat your grill to medium-high. Dip a paper towel in vegetable oil and, using tongs, rub the towel over the grates of your grill rack. Cook the chicken on the grill for a total of 8 minutes, 4 minutes for each side. An instant read thermometer placed in the thickest part of the chicken should read 165 degrees Fahrenheit. 4. Add sauce inside the pitas and spread. Fill the bread with sliced cucumber, grilled chicken, tomatoes, lettuce, and onions. Serve. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 353. Protein, 37.5 grams. Carbohydrates, 33.3 grams. Fiber, 5.8 grams. Fat, 8.6 grams. Saturated fat, 0.9 grams. Slow cooker chicken and chickpea soup. Preparation time, 20 minutes. Cook time, 4 hours. Total time, 4 hours 20 minutes. Servings, 6. Ingredients: 1/2 diced fresh parsley, 1 bay leaf, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 4 teaspoons ground cumin, 1/2 cup oil cured olives, halved and pitted, 4 teaspoons paprika, 14-ounce can artichoke hearts, drained and quartered, 1/4 teaspoon cayenne pepper, 2 pounds skinless bone-in chicken thigh, trimmed, 1/4 teaspoon ground pepper, 1 1/2 cups dried chickpeas, soaked overnight and drain, 4 cloves garlic, diced, 4 cups water, 2 tablespoons tomato paste, 1 large yellow onion, diced, 15-ounce can, no salt added, fire-roasted tomatoes, chopped. Directions: 1. Add chickpeas into a 6-quart slow cooker. Mix in ground pepper, onions, cayenne, tomatoes, canned tomato juice, paprika, cumin, tomato paste, bay leaf, and garlic. Add trimmed chicken and cover the cooker. Set to high and cook for 4 hours. 2. Place the chicken on a cutting board. Allow to cool down slightly. Remove and discard the bones, then shred the chicken. 3. Remove bay leaf from the cooker and stir in salt, artichokes, and olives. Add chicken into the cooker and stir. 4. Garnish with parsley and enjoy. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 447. Protein, 33.6 grams. Carbohydrates, 43 grams. Fiber, 11.6 grams. Fat, 15.3 grams. Saturated fat, 3.3 grams. Prosciutto, mozzarella, and melon plate. Preparation time, 20 minutes. Cook time, 0 minutes. Total time, 20 minutes. Servings, 2. Ingredients: 4 strawberries dipped in chocolate, 1 cup cubed cantaloupe, 1/2 cup unsalted hazelnuts, 8 pieces minced prosciutto, 6 sliced whole wheat baguette, 10 small fresh mozzarella balls, 1/2 cup halved cherry tomatoes. Directions: 1. Get 2 plates and, into each one, add 2 chocolate-coated strawberries, 1/2 cup cantaloupe, and 1/4 cup hazelnuts, 4 minced prosciutto, 3 diced baguette, 5 mozzarella balls, and 1/4 cup cherry tomatoes. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 546. Protein, 24 grams. Carbohydrates, 44 grams. Fiber, 6.5 grams. Fat, 33.8 grams. Saturated fat, 9.7 grams. Mediterranean dinner recipes. Portobello mushroom pizza with arugula salad. Preparation time, 15 minutes. Cook time, 30 minutes. Total time, 45 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 1/4 cup fresh basil leaves, minced. 8 4-ounce large portobello mushroom caps, hills discarded. 2 cups lightly packed baby spinach, diced. 2 cups lightly packed baby arugula. 1/2 cup sun-dried tomatoes, diced. 1 tablespoon lemon juice. 14-ounce can artichoke hearts, rinsed and diced. 1/2 teaspoon dried Italian seasoning. 1/2 cup grated part-skim mozzarella cheese. 1/2 cup tomato sauce. 1/4 cup crumbled feta cheese. 2 1/2 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil. 1/2 teaspoon ground pepper. Directions: 1. Make sure your oven is heated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, using foil, line a baking sheet and place a wire rack on the pan. 2. Grease the top of the mushroom caps with olive oil and place them upside down on the wire rack. Cook in your oven for about 10 minutes. Flip the mushrooms and cook for another 5 minutes. 3. Take the portobellos out of the oven and turn them, again, upside down. Add 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and pour 1 tablespoon of tomato sauce into the mushroom caps. Add feta cheese, mozzarella cheese, spinach, artichokes, and sun-dried tomatoes into each cap. Divide Italian seasoning among the mushrooms and bake for another 15 minutes, or until cheeses melt. 4. Into a medium-sized bowl, add the remaining oil and pepper and whisk. Also, toss in lemon juice and arugula. 5. Sprinkle the mushroom pizzas with minced basil and enjoy with arugula salad. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 246. Protein, 14 grams. Carbohydrates, 25 grams. Fiber, 7 grams. Fat, 13 grams. Saturated fat, 4 grams. Slow cooker quinoa with arugula. Preparation time, 15 minutes. Cook time, 3 hours, 10 minutes. Total time, 3 hours, 25 minutes. Servings, 6. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons roughly diced fresh oregano. 2 1/2 tablespoons olive oil. 12 Kalamata olives, pitted and halved. 2 ounces feta cheese, crumbled. 3/4 teaspoon kosher salt. 4 ounces baby arugula. 2 teaspoons lemon juice. 1/2 cup diced and roasted red bell peppers. 2 1/4 cups unsalted vegetable stock. 15.5-ounce can no salt added chickpeas. 1 1/2 cups uncooked quinoa. 2 cloves garlic thinly cut. 1 cup diced red onion. Directions: 1. Get a 6-quart slow cooker and add 1/2 teaspoon of salt, quinoa, vegetable stock, and 1 1/2 teaspoon of olive oil, onions, chickpeas, and garlic. Stir well. Cover the pot and cook on low for about 3 hours or until the quinoa is tender. 2. Turn the cooker off and, using a fork, fluff the quinoa. Gently mix to release excess moisture. In a bowl, mix 1/4 teaspoon of salt and the remaining olive oil. Add red peppers into the pot containing quinoa and toss in olive oil mixture. Fold in arugula and cover the cooker. Let it sit for 10 minutes, then garnish with oregano, feta cheese, and olives. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 352. Protein, 12 grams. Carbohydrates, 46 grams. Fiber, 7 grams. Fat, 13 grams. Saturated fat, 3 grams. Walnut rosemary crusted salmon. Preparation time, 8 minutes. Cook time, 12 minutes. Total time, 20 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 1 pound skinless salmon fillet, 1 teaspoon chopped rosemary, olive oil cooking spray, 1 teaspoon lemon juice, 1 teaspoon extra virgin olive oil, 1/2 teaspoon honey, 3 tablespoons diced walnuts, 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt, 3 tablespoons panko breadcrumbs, 1/4 teaspoon crushed red pepper, 1 teaspoon lemon juice, 2 teaspoons Dijon mustard, 1/4 teaspoon lemon zest, 1 clove garlic, thinly cut, diced fresh parsley, lemon wedges. Directions: 1. Preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Prepare a rimmed baking sheet by lining it with parchment paper. 2. In a small bowl, mix red pepper, mustard, salt, garlic, honey, lemon zest, rosemary, and lemon juice. In another bowl, toss walnuts, panko, and oil. 3. Place the salmon fillets on the prepared baking sheet and pour mustard mixture on it. Add panko mixture and press down. Grease with cooking spray and bake for 12 minutes. The salmon should flake with ease when a fork is inserted. 4. Garnish with parsley and enjoy with lemon wedges. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 222. Protein, 24 grams. Carbohydrates, 4 grams. Fiber, 0 grams. Fat, 12 grams. Saturated fat, 2 grams. Chicken spinach and artichoke stuffed spaghetti squash. Preparation time, 10 minutes. Cook time, 23 minutes. Total time, 33 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 4 ounces reduced fat cream cheese, cubed and softened. 1/4 teaspoon ground pepper. 3 tablespoons water. 1/4 teaspoon salt. Crushed red peppers. 3 pounds spaghetti squash, halved lengthwise and seeded. 1/2 cup shredded Parmesan cheese. 5-ounce pack baby spinach. 10-ounce pack artichoke hearts, chopped. Diced fresh basil. Directions: 1. On a microwavable dish, place your squash halves with the cut side facing up. Add 2 tablespoons of water to the squash. Set the microwave to high and cook without covering the dish for about 15 minutes. You can also place the squash on a prepared baking sheet, rimmed, and bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. 2. Set your stove to medium heat and place a large skillet containing 1 tablespoon of water on it. Add spinach into the pan and stir while it cooks for about 5 minutes or until the vegetable wilts. Drain the spinach and place in a bowl. 3. Place the rack in the upper third region of your oven, then preheat your broiler. 4. Using a fork, scrape squash from each shell half and place them in a bowl. Add artichoke hearts, pepper, salt, cream cheese, and 1/4 cup Parmesan into the bowl of squash. Mix well. Place squash shells on a baking sheet and add the squash mixture into the shells. Add the remaining Parmesan on top and broil for 3 minutes. 5. Garnish with red pepper and basil and serve. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 223. Protein, 10.2 grams. Carbohydrates, 23.3 grams. Fiber, 8.6 grams. Fat, 10.9 grams. Saturated fat, 5.7 grams. Stuffed chicken breasts. Preparation time, 25 minutes. Cook time, 27 minutes. Total time, 52 minutes. Servings, 8. Ingredients: 1 tablespoon lemon juice, 1/2 cup crumbled feta cheese, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, 1/2 cup diced roasted red bell peppers, 1/2 teaspoon ground pepper, 1/2 cup diced spinach, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 cup Kalamata olives, pitted and quartered, 4 8-ounce boneless, skinless chicken breasts, 1 tablespoon diced basil, 2 cloves garlic, thinly cut, 1 tablespoon diced flat leaf parsley. Directions: 1. Ensure that your oven is preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Into a medium-sized bowl, add garlic, feta cheese, parsley, red peppers, basil, olives, and spinach. 2. Slice through the thickest part of the chicken breasts to create a slit or pocket. Into each slit, add 1/3 cup of the basil mixture. Cover the slits with toothpicks, then season the chicken with pepper and salt. 3. Set your stove to high and place a large skillet containing oil on it. When the oil gets hot, add the stuffed chicken into the pan. Cook for about 2 minutes or until the chicken turns golden brown. Flip the chicken and place the pan in the oven. Bake for about 25 minutes. An instant read thermometer placed in the thickest part of the chicken should read 165 degrees Fahrenheit. 4. Remove the picks, drizzle with lemon juice, and serve. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 179. Protein, 24.4 grams. Carbohydrates, 1.9 grams. Fiber, 0.1 grams. Fat, 7.4 grams. Saturated fat, 2.5 grams. Charred shrimp and pesto. Preparation time, 20 minutes. Cook time, 5 minutes. Total time, 25 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 1 cup chopped avocado, 1/3 cup cooked pesto, 1 cup halved cherry tomatoes, 2 tablespoons balsamic vinegar, 2 cups cooked quinoa, 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, 4 cups arugula, 1 pound peeled, deveined large shrimp, 1/4 teaspoon ground pepper, 1/2 teaspoon salt. Directions: 1. In a large bowl, combine pepper, pesto, vinegar, salt, and oil. Separate 4 tablespoons of this mixture into a small bowl. 2. Set your stove to medium to high heat and place a large cast iron skillet on it. Cook shrimp in the pan for about 5 minutes. Make sure the shrimp is cooked through. Place the shrimp on a plate. 4. Into the large bowl containing the vinegar mixture, toss in quinoa and arugula. Separate this mixture into 4 bowls and add cooked shrimp, tomatoes, and avocado on top. Drizzle with the vinaigrette in the small bowl. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 429. Protein, 30.9 grams. Carbohydrates, 29.3 grams. Fiber, 7.2 grams. Fat, 22 grams. Saturated fat, 3.6 grams. Sheet pan salmon with sweet potatoes and broccoli. Preparation time, 15 minutes. Cook time, 30 minutes. Total time, 45 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 1/2 cup diced fresh cilantro, 3 tablespoons low-fat mayonnaise, 1/4 cup crumbled cotija cheese, 1 teaspoon chili powder, lime zested and juiced, lime wedges, 2 medium sweet potatoes peeled and cubed, 1 1/4 pound salmon fillet quartered, 4 teaspoons extra virgin olive oil, 4 cups broccoli florets, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon ground pepper. Directions: ensure that your oven is heated to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, prepare a baking sheet by lining it with foil and greasing with cooking spray. 2. Add chili powder and mayonnaise into a small bowl and mix. 3. Into a medium-sized bowl, add a pinch of pepper, sweet potatoes, 2 teaspoons oil, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Toss and spread on the baking sheet. Transfer to the oven and cook for about 15 minutes. 4. Combine broccoli, a pinch of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and the remaining oil in a small bowl. 5. Take the baking sheet out of the oven and arrange the potatoes to the side of the pan. Put the quartered salmon in the center of the baking sheet and spread the broccoli mixture around the pan, especially on the sweet potatoes. Spread 2 tablespoons of the chili powder mixture on the salmon. Bake in the oven for about 15 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. 6. Toss lime zest and lime juice into the remaining chili powder mixture. 7. Serve the salmon in 4 plates and add cilantro and cheese on top. Separate the broccoli and potatoes into the 4 plates and pour the lime zest mixture on them. Enjoy with lime wedges. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 504. Protein, 34 grams. Carbohydrates, 34 grams. Fiber, 7 grams. Fat, 26 grams. Saturated fat, 6 grams. Ravioli with artichokes and olives. Preparation time, 7 minutes. Cook time, 8 minutes. Total time, 15 minutes. Servings, 4. Ingredients: 1/4 cup chopped basil. 2 8-ounce packs spinach and ricotta ravioli. 3 tablespoons toasted pine nuts. 1/2 cup sun-dried tomatoes, drained. Keep 2 tablespoons oil. 1/4 cups Kalamata olives. 10-ounce pack frozen artichoke hearts, thawed and quartered. 15-ounce can, no salt added, cannellini beans. Directions: 1. Place a large pot containing water over medium to high heat. When it starts to boil, add the ravioli and cook according to the instructions on the pack. Drain the pasta and combine with 1 tablespoon of olive oil. 2. Set your stove to medium heat and place a large nonstick skillet containing 1 tablespoon of oil on it. Add beans and artichoke into the pan and cook for about 3 minutes. 3. Combine basil, ravioli, pine nuts, olives, and sun-dried tomatoes. Serve. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 454. Protein, 15 grams. Carbohydrates, 60.9 grams. Fiber, 13.1 grams. Fat, 19.2 grams. Saturated fat, 3.9 grams. Slow cooker stew. Preparation time, 15 minutes. Cook time, 6 hours 30 minutes. Total time, 6 hours 45 minutes. Servings, 6. Ingredients: shredded basil leaves, 4 cloves garlic thinly cut, 3 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil, 1 teaspoon dried oregano, 1 tablespoon lemon juice, 3/4 teaspoon salt. 1 bunch lacinato kale, stemmed and diced, 1/2 teaspoon crushed red pepper, 15-ounce can no salt added chickpeas, rinsed, 1/4 teaspoon ground pepper, 3/4 cup diced carrot, 2 14-ounce cans no salt added fire roasted chopped tomatoes, 3/4 cup diced carrots, 3 cups low sodium vegetable broth, 1 cup roughly diced onion. Directions: 1. Into a 4-quart slow cooker, add pepper, tomatoes, red peppers, vegetable broth, salt, onion, oregano, carrot, and garlic. Mix. Set the cooker to low, cover the pot. Cook for 6 hours. 2. Transfer 1/4 cup of the liquid in the cooker to a small bowl. Stir in 2 tablespoons of chickpeas and beat with a fork until you get a smooth and slightly thick mixture. 3. Add the chickpea mixture into the cooker. Stir in lemon juice, kale, and the remaining chickpeas. Set the cooker to low, cover the pot, and cook for about 30 minutes, or until the kale is tender. 4. Spoon this mixture into 6 plates and add oil to each one. Sprinkle with basil and enjoy with lemon wedges. Nutritional information per serving. Calories, 191. Protein, 5.7 grams. Carbohydrates, 22.9 grams. Fiber, 5.6 grams. Fat, 7.8 grams. Saturated fat, 1 gram. Conclusion. Are you excited to try out the Mediterranean diet? It is a simple, affordable, natural, and healthy way of eating, so it is expected that you can't wait to get into the kitchen. Read this book as many times as you need to if you feel like you missed something. But what is most important is that you follow the guidelines for the Mediterranean diet and prepare delicious meals using the recipes in this book. Have a healthy and delightful life.